Okay, I'm going to show you exactly why I'm making this video. So, here's my bandsaw, right? Down there's the motor. Now, take a look at this oil can down there, right? What do you notice about the oil can? First thing you notice is at the top of it has a lot of oil sitting on it. So next time I go to use that thing, I'm going to get oil all over myself. Now, let's move over here. All right, now I didn't stage this for this video, okay? I'm just showing you two real world examples of what happened. So, this is a brand new oil can, right? This is made by Goldenrod, which is a well-known manufacturer of oil cans, okay? You can get one of these cans for probably 15 bucks or so. Now, I just used this oil can to oil some of my electric motors, and I set it back over here. If you look on this vise over here, it's all covered in oil. Look at this, right? So what happened is all the oil from the oil can ran down and it drips out. So this is a common dilemma that you have with these oil cans, is that when you're done using them, the oil either dribbles out or it settles on the top of the can or something like that, and invariably you end up with a little mess to clean up. As a matter of fact, the oil cans that I have over by my drill press, I got them sitting on top of a piece of that material called pig mat. It kind of absorbs the extra oil when you're done with them. So anyways, now we're going to take a look at a different kind of an oil can, and we're going to see why I think this is the best oil can on the market today. So just for the hell of it, I put a few of my oilers on the workbench, just a small sampling of them at least. Here we got some Eagle 66 oilers. These are kind of like the old standby. They're getting kind of expensive to buy now when you find them at the flea markets. But anyways, those are a brass construction. It's a pretty nice oiler. It does have one drawback if you buy the old one. See the base on that, how narrow it is? Look at this. Yeah, and that happens all the time. So that's kind of a drawback with those. Sometimes you have to make a modification for that so it doesn't fall over. So that was kind of poorly designed. The newer ones have a little flange at the bottom, makes them a little bit more stable. But anyways, these aren't bad oilers, okay? Here's a Goldenrod. These are made in the USA, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. It's not a bad oiler, but these all dribble out the end, you know, when you're done using them. Here's another Eagle. This is like a little plastic one. It's kind of cool looking. But anyways, here's a couple gravity fed oilers. Okay, these you just lift up the can and the gravity just pulls the oil out like that. Anyways, the purpose of this video is to show these, right? These are, I don't know how you pronounce that, Reilang, something like that. These are, I think, made in Switzerland or somewhere like that, right? Now this, to me, is the best oiler that you can get, even though it's a little pricey. This is one of those cases where you're definitely getting what you pay for. I'm gonna show you why. I took this one apart. First of all, can we take a minute to respect the construction on this thing? I mean, look at that. It's like cast aluminum, it's fully machined. I mean, that is a nice looking piece right there. And if I take the calipers, and I slide these on here, okay? Look at that, 9/64 of an inch thick. I mean, that's pretty damn respectable for an oil can. Now, what's interesting about this oiler is take a look at the build quality on this, right? It's all brass, aluminum. It's got an O-ring there, so if it falls over, the oil won't be dribbling out all over the place. But what's really fantastic about this design is, see the bottom? See how that swivels around? That is a fantastic design, okay? So no matter what position you have that can in, as the can starts to use up some of the oil, right, as the oil level gets lower in the can, that siphon will always be in the bottom position picking up your oil. I mean, that's a great design, because a lot of these cans, for example, if you take a look at the Eagle 66, right, I'll take the top off of there. Okay, it's kind of hard to see in there, but anyways, let me get the flashlight. If you look in the bottom of that Eagle 66, you see it right there. See that pipe? Okay, that's what picks up your oil. That pipe is in a fixed position, doesn't swivel around. So if you're reaching up, if you got the nozzle in an upward position, you know, unless you have the oil can more than halfway full, that thing's not going to pick up oil. So this one, doesn't matter what position you have the oil can in. it's always going to be picking up oil because the bottom of the siphon swivels around. So it's really nicely built. The downside to these oil cans is the price. If you go to buy one of these, you could buy them on eBay and places like that. That thing's probably like 50 bucks. You know, that seems a little bit expensive for an oil can, but it's such a high quality can that it's hard to believe that you would say $50 is worth it to buy an oil can, but it really is. I mean, I've never seen an oil can built to that high of a standard before. And these people ain't paying me, you know. I mean, I just bought these. I mean, you know, it's not like they're sponsoring my channel or something. It's just a hell of a good oil can. And if you're a person who uses oil cans a lot, you won't be disappointed if you get a can like this. And the other thing that's fantastic about it is, you see this little lip right here? Okay, so let's say you're using an oil can and a little bit of oil remains on here and gradually works way down here like it does on all oil cans. Okay, the nice thing about this is when you squeeze that, if you look underneath there, see that little hole right there? So what happens is the oil pools up in here and it could drain back into the can, as opposed to having the disaster I have over here on my bandsaw, right? Where you got the oil just constantly sitting up on top of the can, waiting to get on your fingers the next time you use it. This one, the oil will work its way back into the can. So anyways, these are really nice oil cans. If you're looking for a high quality oil can, I definitely recommend these. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, they ain't paying me nothing to say that. It's just a good can. It's not the cheapest can, but you won't be disappointed if you buy one. Real quickly, another thing that I was going to point out, speaking of things that are worth the money, for a long time I've been using these Channellock screwdrivers, right? I always thought that these at the time were a good value, but they don't make them like this anymore. They changed the handle on them. They got a new supplier making them, and they're not the same. Well, I recently picked up one of these off of Amazon, right? That's a Wilde tool or Wilde tool, made in USA, hollow ground points, right? You got a couple of different slotted sizes and a couple different Phillips in there. It's really a nice precision screwdriver for 15 bucks. I mean, it's really nicely made. As a matter of fact, the fit on that is actually better than the Channellock, the way that it has a lot less wiggle room. It's a little bit tighter of a fit. So anyways, if you're in the market for just a basic screwdriver with a couple slots and a couple Phillips, you will not be disappointed for 15 bucks to pick one of these up. So, and they ain't paying me either. I'm just telling you, it's a good deal for the price. So anyways, take care. See you the next time.